Veamos cómo se juega. Y veamos que espero que no me jodan tanto la vida. Campaña. Continuar. Modo historia. Ok.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
A ver, no creo que sea tan exagerado. Hay descripciones gráficas, pero voy a dejarlo. A ver, si Twitch lo tiene de saber que la wea tiene fin. Peter Clement, famoso de la tele como un popular programa de bricolaje, es uno de los líderes de la dance, ¿ok? O sea, supongo que si está, se puede. Lleva unas elecciones, ¿vale? Ok, ¿cómo se juega? Mira a la derecha. Ah, ok. Ok.
Hi, David. I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through.
Ok.
Right, mate. Dave here. Listen, now I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens.
Ok.
Look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down.
Vale.
Underneath that, you've
Normal.
got screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio.
Okay.
And you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left.
Ok.
Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You
Okay.
can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so
Okay.
there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Ok. Y tú.
Right, won't be long now till the signal starts coming through from the station. Stay on your toes. All the bigwigs are in tonight because of the election, so we
Ya, contar que no tenga
make
yo te lo
mistakes.
Ok.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
Did I see if you make me come out?
Ok.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going 5, 4.
Good evening.
Okay.
I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Hello.
Okay, we're all good. Next thing is going to be the throw of the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Total
Okay.
Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hams leaves. Wins Sports Personality of the Year.
Ya, en 2 minutos te voy a poner los dos.
A spoonful of sugar. Meg. Lawrence Blunderclad.
Okay.
The medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance Headquarters
Yes.
to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic week.
Right, button 2 in 3, 2,
National Nightly News.
1, now. Lovely, mate.
Bien.
Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
Ok. Ok, esto es complicado. Va a ser súper complicado.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1.
Ok.
The votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance. The
Uh-huh.
landslide victory, with an astonishing 81% of the popular vote, is the biggest election win in living memory. Advance appealed to voters up and down the country with their bold promises of
Vale.
permanent change. But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary
Right, it's going well. All you got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert.
Ajá.
When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll
Okay.
count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
Ok.
the co-leader's acceptance speech.
4,
3,
2.
2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker snack.
Ya se está viendo esto.
I thought I'd ask him about
Ok.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret. It's alright, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your bantering.
Se me va a ir a encollar esta agua en cualquier momento.
Wicked. We've made it to
Va
the
a llegar a
first
primera
advert.
posición de la estación general.
Where
¡Yay!
it starts getting a bit trickier.
Sí.
This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence.
Okay.
Which is going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb.
These aren't my
1.
cards, please.
Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long.
Ok.
Seconds at the most. So if you're
Quien habla, 10 segundos.
try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as
Voy a morir.
complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those.
Tal cual.
Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
Espérate.
Seconds, everybody. 5, 4,
Vamos.
3.
Sí.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News.
Ya.
Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
Ya.
here with the star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy.
Oh, le hice justo.
Correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she
Okay.
says his name.
by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among the...
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say having you here with us?
Screen 2 now, screen 2. Right, now just
Chuta, la caí.
whoever's talking.
Called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction.
He's a wonderful chap, he really is.
Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
Several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role.
Okay.
I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that's
Been on that show a bit long.
a love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2.
Ya, verdad que eran 10 segundos. No puedo estar más de 10
If I
segundos.
remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question,
Puta madre.
and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will.
Ya.
And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? doesn't it? Bleeding.
Sufrimiento, ya iba a morir.
Suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But
Yeah.
most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course,
La cara de la pobre niña estaba como, hermano, what the fuck.
few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well.
A ver.
Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite
Yeah.
clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again. Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to do it.
Después te voy a asesor.
Which opens next week
Right,
around
they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My
Okay.
character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Me la pitié.
Looks like Blunderclatch is really losing it in the studio.
Sí.
I'd love to hear what he's saying, but we can't find out now.
Weón, ¿qué está pasando acá? What the fuck?
Together once the broadcast's over.
I don't understand it.
Te queda cagar. Hola, Alberto. Yo casi no estoy leyendo mucho lo que te estoy escuchando.
You think I don't know that?
Ok.
Nolan mustn't think of Carol.
Sí, con cara.
Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Oh, pero hermano le pegó.
Did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world, do you remember? Don't let listen to you.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see.
Me falta el carajo, cagamos.
Look at this.
Estoy súper tenso, aunque no lo creo, estoy terrible tenso. Como que lo puedo cagar en cualquier momento.
The sterility. This formula. This is the key. Yes, we could stop it all.
Mira, con tal de que no se me vaya en amarillo,
We have to ask ourselves.
todo bien.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
Sí. Lo estoy viendo, tranquilidad. Para llegar a hacer algo.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you probably noticed,
Bien.
the broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master
Sí,
screen.
sí, me fijé en eso.
When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds
Lo hice,
later,
pero no me pescó.
you'll hear that swear word
Beep.
coming out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the space bar on your keyboard for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just
Okay.
stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple.
Ay, es más fácil de lo que pensé, que tenía que estar demasiado pendiente de escucharlo.
That's why real professionals do
Okay.
it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember,
Okay.
button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Ok.
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back.
Hostia.
And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders,
Le acabo de
Peter
querer.
Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast. Oh shit, he's pissed. ready to bleep.
Okay.
And, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you,
Yeah.
the people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebrations.
Va.
Of course, it was funny.
Memorably put.
Perfect.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a
Remember the
political
10
party.
second rule?
A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team
Okay.
to change things. But today is day one of a new future.
Okay.
A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over.
Okay.
They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act.
Okay.
Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of. Probably you rather you don't.
Bueno, la camarón es tan terrible que.
In their gated
Tan terrible aburrido.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school
No.
snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine.
Okay.
But first, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals
Vale.
into a team. To properly
Después
fund
cuando se
the
le ayuda al otro voy a entrar en
to
pánico.
raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll
Uh-huh.
see, when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs.
Yeah.
The people whose children you
Me cago en todo.
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again.
No estoy haciendo porque estoy
Just like
concentrada.
we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our
Okay.
apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from
Okay.
us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate.
Ay, me voy a ir a la mierda. Trataré bien hasta que no se te ocurra usar la.
Some old boring politics then.
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now or something?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Ah, cagó.
Try not to get murdered.
Emilia Fiesta, sala de Feferga. Hostia puta.
Program's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages.
A ver, ¿cómo fue?
First page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each
Ya.
sequence
A ver, no es tan difícil, lo que pasa es que te quedas pendiente de varias cosas.
grades mean bonuses, and they keep the boss happy.
¡Eh!
More about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page.
Ok. Ok. Oh.
This is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how
Pobre como una rata. Yay, ¿cuánto vieron?
looks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares. You're a
Sí, me imagino que somos
do you care?
Se te entiende que no puedes leer el chat. A ver. Esta es la última página, te cuenta el estado del mundo. Escribe cómo le va al gobierno y ahí al final lo importante. Te muestra lo que es al gobierno. Cada uno pone a ti. Veamos lo que se empieza a ti. Joder. A ver. Este archivo aquí es donde puedes echarle un vistazo a lo que has hecho y cómo lo ha visto el público. Y empecé a buscar las emisiones. Ok. Aquí tiene todas las emisiones que han realizado. Clic en una de ellas. Ok, cargar cinta.
In a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's national nightly news.
Entonces se supone que... Oh, Dios santo. Ay, me voy a pipí. Ya, bueno, ya. Ya entendí. Atrás. No, verlo todo, por supuesto. Atrás. Y vamos a echarle... ¿Qué mierda copiones? Acá. Para las contraseñas que recibías en el estudio. La transmisión de verdad, la diferencia es que puedes diferenciar una o varias pantallas. Y así puedes escuchar las partes que no te dejan emitir. Ya, esto está muy interesante. Puedes ver si se viene haciendo algo cómico en la mensa. En los titulares. En los titulares. Yo me estaba tratando de fijar lo que hablaban.
Mayonnaise?
You know, see if it makes me come out in pustules.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Vamos a detenerte a ti. Entrevista. Reproducir.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
But this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
Oh, no.
Puta
I
madre.
think they think you won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. He's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not
Hostia.
doing it. I agreed to do one BC interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin bloody ice, Rob.
Oye, viejo weón.
Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody.
Es la cara de ella, wey. What the fuck.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing...
Hermano, qué wea el gallo, wey. Ya atrás. Continúa. ¿Vamos a coger otro? ¿Quieres que ver qué ocurre detrás de la cámara? Ya, sí, yo sé que ya podemos verlo. Si cacho que hay algo como muy interesante, lo cambio. O sea, como que lo vamos a ver. Día 1. Estoy sola. Solicitud de espera. Ah, no, joder, día 3. Al llegar a casa te encuentras el correo sobre el felpudo. La mayoría es basura y propaganda. Sin embargo, una de las cartas de mantención. Equipo quiere conocerte. La consulta te puede llevar la carta. Se trata de un formulario del nuevo gobierno de Advance, en el que piden información de traducción de la primera página que está cumpliendo. Tu nombre es Ale Winston, tu pareja es Sam Winston, tu hijo es Charlie Winston y Susie Winston. Voy a formular al menos la información privada, está bien. El resto de preguntas están por completar, parece que son obligatorias. En tu primer día de trabajo, eres hablar y te presentas a tu nuevo comprar. Eres productivo y te pones a trabajar inmediatamente. Te lo tomas con calma y tratas de ir acostumbrarte a tu nueva especie. No mueras tonto. Eres productivo y te pones a trabajar inmediatamente. Sí, en realidad yo soy así. Yo en el trabajo no hablo. O sea, pues si ustedes una vez en su vida, alguna vez ustedes en la vida se lo ocurre, imagínate que no nos hubiéramos conocido en esta situación y se le ocurre haberme conocido en el trabajo, soy la wea más callada del mundo y solo es como trabajo y era. Hablo re poco. Vamos a hacer que me hablen. Generalmente muy pocas veces me pongo yo a hablar. Ok, un compañero de otro departamento te ha confesado que se ha estado llevando a casa información confidencial. Oye, apareció un archivo de escasa importancia. Recomienda a tu compañero que informe al jefe. Le recomienda a tu compañero que informe al jefe. Dale. Pregúntale. Han despedido hoy a todo un departamento por desempeño insuficiente. Tu jefe te ha dado una gran especialidad y busqué tiene mucho más elevados que la que tenía. Te quedas algo de trabajo a mí ahora. Te quedas total a la seguridad de que cumpla los plazos, sales antes del trabajo y te vas para hablar conmigo. Sales antes del trabajo y por acá. Salgo de trabajo a la hora. En la barbacoa, no, yo soy súper mala para empezar conversaciones. Muy mala. Mala. De hecho, si la gente no me habla a mí, es muy poco probable que yo empiece a hablar. A no ser que sea algo muy específico para preguntar algo. En general. La barbacoa no es de la empresa y te han invitado a ti y a tu familia. Estás deseando disfrutar de un día agradable con tus amigos y tu familia. Ese día te lavas el pelo. Vas y no tienes nada mejor que hacer, pero no pasa nada si te lo pierdes. Ahí está apretado. Nah. Estoy siendo sincera. Esto puede que me ponga después. Tras una larga carrera plagada de éxito, estás a punto de jubilarte tu discurso. Tú enumeraste el logro y lo bueno recuerdas de ir trabajando días. Un análisis sincero de los peligros contra la empresa. Te centras en los problemas y desafíos a los que te enfrentas. Nada, pues mira, vamos a chupar un poco. En tu tiempo libre, ¿te gusta relajarte en soledad cuando te llevas a escuchar música haciendo manual y asistente a manifestaciones políticas y luchas por tu valor? Además de apoya a tu hijo con deficiencias. ¿Cuál es tu deporte favorito? Puta, si tengo hijos, pues. Anima y apoya a tu hijo con sus aficiones. Tu vacación de la serie, estoy pensando como el personaje. Tengo hijos, así que tengo que estar pendiente de los niños. En tu vacación ideal serían en una pareja un paraje natural donde puedes aliviar la estrés provocada por el trabajo rutina, explorando un lugar de cocina, corriendo una experiencia fea. Unidad estructura con un parque temático y una atracción, adrenalina para ti y tu familia, escapar romántica con tu pareja, la isla rápido perdido. Un paraje natural. La más importante es que el gobierno garantice sus ciudadanos, se aseguren, sean libres, estén felices, disfruten de la igualdad. Todos, po, weón. ¿Cómo hacer uno solo? Todos. Esta está complicada. Podría ser libre, pero el problema con el ser libre es que si son libres la seguridad está. Pero si lo vemos como un régimen, creo que debería ser ser libre. Lo que responde al teléfono, sí, pero estoy pensando como yo, no estoy tratando de responderlo más. Gracias por su cooperación en avance, sabemos que tu tiempo, ok, firma. Sabemos que estamos en un... Cosas de casa. Ok. Es tarde. Sam y los niños ya se han ido a la cama. Están sacando tu taza de café favorita. El recuerdo de gastado de vuestro primer viaje juntos. La pintura ya apenas se ve, pero la cara tan magualicona que tiene dibujada todavía te saca una sonrisa. Uno golpeteó la ventana y te volvió a la realidad. En la ventana. Allí en el jardín, sujetando un llamativo maletín verde fosforito, está Chris. De todos los hermanos y hermanas de Sam, es quien mejor te cae. En cuanto pasa, se siente la mesa cocina temblando. Chris inspira profundamente. ¡Hola, Andy! ¿Cómo va? Perdona por venir tan tarde, dale. Balbucea a Chris, pero necesito un favor y solo tú puedes ayudarme. No hay problema, ¿qué pasa? ¿Va todo bien? ¿Quieres que llames a...? ¿Qué pasa? La voz es que yo no veo la web latino, me da progeria. Seguro que ya sabes lo de esta locura de Dance, ¿verdad? Ley de bienes y riquezas como la llaman ellos. Le están robando el dinero que la gente se ha ganado con el sudor de su frente para dárselo a los vagos. Es una gilipollez. Nunca había visto a Chris así. No digo que el 1% de los más ricos no tengan dinero. Continúa Chris. Pero ellos se lo pueden permitir, pero la gente como yo lo vamos a perder todo. Es horrible, pero no tengo claro cómo puedo ayudarte. De toda la familia, tú siempre has sido quien más capacidad económica tiene. Tiene mucho, pero lo de quitar a los ricos para ayudar a los pobres no me parece una mala idea. Lo de quitar a los ricos para ayudar a los pobres no me parece una mala idea, la verdad es que no. Pasen la plata, giles culiados, weón. Pasen la plata a los pobres, weón. Espérate, deja de replantear lo que dice. Lo siento mucho, coma. Pero la de quitar a los ricos para ayudar a los pobres no me parece una mala idea. Los ojos de Cliff brillan cuando estoy enfadado. ¿De verdad eres tan inocente? Se están llevando todo lo que quieren y lo destruyen como los vienen en gana. Ningún gobierno debería tener ese poder. Mira, ese no es el motivo para el que estoy aquí. Necesito que me prestes tu pasaporte. ¿Mi pasaporte? No puedo dártelo, es ilegal. Se han llegado al mío junto con el de la mitad del país, pero la gente siempre dice que tú y yo nos parecemos, así que Chris camina de un lado a otro. Tengo que salir de aquí antes de que sea demasiado tarde. Una vez que esté fuera, yo y mi dinero estaremos a salvo. Pero tengo que irme antes de que congelen mis cuentas. Por favor, no te lo pediría si estuviera... Debe de haber otra forma, seguro que no es para tanto. Que se joda, Chris. Que chucha, weón. ¿Le pasa el pasaporte el medio león que me mete? ¿Para qué? ¿Para que el weón corra por tener su plata en otro lado? Está weón. Sí, va a haber consecuencias. Con cualquiera de las dos va a haber consecuencias. Pero está ahí, weón. Y te cambia la música. La boca de Chris se abre de sorpresa. ¿Estás de coña? Siempre os he ayudado a ti y a Sam. He tratado a vuestros hijos como si fueran los míos. Eso no significa nada para ti. Está bien, voy a buscar... Va a encontrar la ley. No puedo ayudarte con esto. Me van a pitear. Está bien, me la apañaré por mi cuenta. Esto le llamo yo lealtad familiar. No, no es lealtad familiar. Es que me estoy protegiendo a mí mismo con esa wea. No jodas. Tengo familia. No puedo ir y meterme en weas raras de esa manera. No. Mi familia, hermano. Y tú estás huyendo por plata. Tira la plata a otro lado tú solo y no huyáis. Mete la wea al banco, a otro banco y no sé, weón. Ponlo en la bolsa alguna wea. Te suelta Chris casi escupiendo mientras recoge tu maletín fluorescente y desaparece en la noche. Vuelve a limpiar los platos. Al volver a agarrar la taza de Sam, la cara despellejada parece que te perfora con su mirada. El nudo de tu estómago se aprieta. Yo creo que quedaré con el nudo de tu estómago al final igual. Con cualquiera de las dos decisiones. Keep your passport. A la mierda el 1%. Me encanta. Me encanta. Decía, a la mierda el 1% de millonario. Que te joda. Ya he hecho repercusiones, ¿vale? ¿Por qué hay un timer acá? Ah, joder. Me van a meter más wea. La verdad que tenía que contar acá. ¡Buena, Dave! Yo creo que... Ajá. Ya está bien. Pero no acabo de sonar, what the fuck. No puedo. Ah. Ah, verdad. Ya tú. Sí, siempre. Deberíamos jugar este juguete, es seguro. No sé. Lo pongo. El juguete impredecible era. No. Como puedes ver, por fin arreglar el sistema de titulares, ¿vale? Ok. Oh, espérate, mi cabeza. Espérate que mi gata está... Ok,
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
no entendí lo que me dijo. De verdad que no entendí.
Not the best source of concern.
¿Cuándo lo vamos a cagar? Pues si no, lo reinicio.
When it explodes, going in 5.
Supongo que todavía no guarda nada. Quiero escuchar la weá de nuevo. If a page you don't overwatch if replay any request. Necesito que me lo hable de nuevo porque no entendí ni mierda. Está ahí. Ah, fuck, desde aquí, de verdad. Ah, ya.
You'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive
Una weá que dijo que. Ah, no lo vi, weón.
their lives. So, like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back.
Ok, no entendí nada, tío.
Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
10 seconds, everybody.
Ok, voy a seguir viéndolo.
Consumer advice, then?
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Acá hay algo.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson.
Uh-huh.
Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the country's wealth creators in a state of panic and unfavourable rumblings already heard from overseas, I'll be asking my guess whether Advance can deliver on even a fraction of their manifesto promises. Out with the old, Remington Trust have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Snuggle Hugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains.
No way!
The two scientists, who've shared a fractious rivalry for many years, decided to undertake this expedition in each other's company. However,
fuck!
a joint statement in which they opine geniuses don't have to like each other to achieve remarkable results. Playing the field, there was a band as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very program. Johnny is seen here with Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And grievous bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut?
Yeah.
All that and mega more for the group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Ya, puta madre. Susto que me gustó, sí. Y esta wea que al lado todavía no me la enseñaron, así que no puedo tomar la cabeza. Me pica el ojo, wey. Vale.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Ah.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the awful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James.
Shamelessly self-promoting. Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance is the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
And
this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Cha! We're gonna be dead.
Yeah, you are. Always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people.
Bollocks!
Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opie arts. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand,
Here's the issue. It's all coming from the water.
Pero Alan.
Chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong. I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively...
A ver, todavía me está diciendo solamente figuradamente. Cool.
Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act.
Okay.
That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much you getting paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan.
Oh yeah, shut the
so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately...
Yo estoy acá abajo por si acaso se lo dan de la wea. Ah, pero wea. Lo trataste de que te deben de la wea aparte. Chao. Que vaya bien.
10 seconds, everybody. Little Jakey's going to the big bird culture with water.
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives.
Okay.
First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country.
Ah, muy bien, muy
We're
bien.
working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg?
We need more support from ministers. Eleanor, what are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Pero weón.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. No, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the
¿Cómo? Es que ¿cómo censuro
affairs
esto?
of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Que tampoco puedo irme.
Donaldson. Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob.
Pero
A
weón.
man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime.
Traté de
Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of
Supongo
your
que sí.
community at night, looking in through windows.
No,
and
simplemente lo
staring
cambié,
into
como lo que
windows
más mejor hice.
without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in
Párroco.
Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the
What?
Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that...
What the fuck?
Bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimp's escaped. Delia? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
Pero weón. Pero weón, ¿qué está pasando?
The moral decay.
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking.
Castrando los mapaches, what the fuck?
Could you put him back in his box?
What? Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You go
What the
back
fuck?
in your space.
And
You go
whose
back
responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of this.
A la gente le gusta el sadomasoquismo.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty.
Y el otro también tiene cosas.
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said, get back in your kids' business. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive!
As I was saying, Jeremy,
Se lo voy a cagar atrás.
crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
What?
Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted,
Sí, por
it's time to
favor.
get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from
What?
jail
Todos tienen la
after
cagada.
serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a swat. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez.
Buena.
Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party.
Muy bien, yay.
Okay, well...
¿Por qué todo el mundo de los entrevistados son ahueonados?
First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony.
Way.
As easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
I think asking that is an oversimplification.
A ver.
Sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and...
Weón,
solve
qué
it.
weá esta
Since you're in
gente.
custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris.
Eh.
And Vampire Chris.
What the fuck?
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jess. It's just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this guy?
Pero güey, está dando la cagada.
He's only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
Pero weón, ¿por qué?
It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal there, Tony.
Fucking way, let's believe that.
Well, we're just trying to get that signal.
¿Por qué, weón?
Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds.
Espera, voy a hacer este tipo súper difícil. Tienes la media cagada. Perdón, espérate, espérate.
You, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues of law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some lucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
Y ahora sí. Y hola, Leon. Y ahora estamos cortando. ¿Qué guay esta gente, wey? ¿Qué guay estos dos? Valores de desbloquear. Tengo nada más, así que estoy súper. Ok, supongo que se van a mostrar todos. Ah, ya no, la niña, la segunda niña.
Open on Megan, camera 2, going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people at Sixth Form College, who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan.
Bien.
Overwhelmed, to be honest.
Para ver, se va a estar muy bien ese momento
Is
emocionante.
that right? Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea. So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher. Maths is really important. Oh, thanks, Steve. Maths is really important.
What the fuck está pasando?
The oldest art forms in history, Aristotle. I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing.
La cararavilla.
We touch others, and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes. We just want to bring
Esto es súper incómodo, güey.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe.
Oye, esta gente es toda retrasada mental, what the fuck?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Put it in, coach. Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
How? How did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then
¿Qué?
Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're
Oh, yeah.
political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But
What?
That Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant.
So let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Alone. Dreading what might be around every corner. What's around the corner?
¿Qué está pasando con esta mierda?
What's around the corner? Oh, hi Gary. Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist! Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to
¿Qué estoy viendo, weón?
For this make me feel better about my violent father. Violent father.
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's
What?
all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist.
¿Y por qué hacen eso?
Two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all three of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me.
Pero qué wea.
Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be
Pero what?
Life can be cheeky. If you work as a team.
It's my choice to remain.
Me la viví ahí.
Stop now, make a different choice.
Hey, listen up. I won't take no crap.
¿Qué está pasando?
Middle class girls can't rap. I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Vale.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably
¿Qué estoy viendo? Es que de verdad, ¿qué pasa?
that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner. He had to wait. Oh, where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Oh, where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
Okay.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship.
Yes! Oh, oh, oh.
¿Qué está pasando?
Thankfully, that's all we have time for.
Queremos ver yo ese cachí.
Join us tomorrow night.
Se me hace más cómodo con el clic.
Across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was...
¿Qué fue toda esa mierda, weón? What the fuck?
Literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about adequate paycheck.
El otro sigue en French.
Please get these twats out of my studio.
¿Qué está pasando? Don't play the Monster Night Albert. Me imagino no lo puse. Ha recibido una bonificación generosa, dinero actual, pobre como una rata. Excelente. Ahora, pobre pero menos. Deuda preocupante. Excelente. Ya, una más y hacemos otra cosa. Ah, me duele el culo. Una noche larga, día 15. Ya, acá otra larga jornada y encuentras una nota en la encimera. Reconoce la letra apresurada de Sam. Han desahuciado a Chris por no pagar su alquiler. Ya sabes cómo va a acabar esto. Sam ha ido a recoger las cosas de Chris de la calle. No nos esperes, duérmete. Subrayado 2 veces. Ahora, ¿esta es culpa tuya? De mal humor le das el play para ver la peli barata de terror que ibas a ver juntos. Hace años te terrorizaba, pero ahora siempre vas a hacer reír. Sin Sam no es lo mismo, pero aún así de vez en cuando te saca alguna risotada. Justo cuando vas a llegar a la mejor parte, cuando Candy decide ir a investigar sola, tu hijo de 14 años te interrumpe. Quiere ir a casa de un amigo. Te pide de una forma que solo un niño puede hacerlo, suplicante, pero a la vez desafiante. Dejas que vaya siempre que te prometa que esté en casa de las 11. Es echarle que no, ya sabes que no puedes salir tan tarde cuando mañana hay cole. Ah, sí, hay colegio está hasta el hasta el hoyo. Oh, pero si vuelve a casa antes de las 11... Me da a mí que si lo dejo ir... O sea, claro, si lo dejo ir va a estar bien con el niño. Pero si no si lo dejo ir puede que le pase algo. Ya, vamos a hacerle ver que ojalá no le pase nada. Claramente sorprendido sale corriendo hasta la puerta. Está dormida frente a la peli, esperando a que regrese. El ruido de la tele se despierta y es más de medianoche y ni rastro de Charlie ni de Sam. ¡Sabía! Ven al colegio y te prometo, te meteré volante, así que te acerca allí y lo obliga a venir a casa. Estás donde me voy a casa, se te puede confiar en Charlie, pero te volveré. No, voy a buscarlo. Al llegar a la casa de su amigo encuentras a tu hijo que casualmente se da cuenta a la hora que es cuando te ve. Tal vez se crea que has nacido ayer, pero al menos se disculpa, algo es algo. Reconocer a esa mirada atraviesa el pillo, no puede evitar dejarla pasar por esta vez. Ya, por lo menos no se me murió el cabro chico. What the fuck, ha pasado como 30.000 días, hermano. No, ya ajustada. Así es como Paper Please. Qué buen juego es Paper Please. De hecho podríamos jugarlo, lo tengo. Pero creo que Paper Please es peor. No puedes evitar sonreír. Es más triste, es más cuático. No puedes evitar sonreír mientras miras al resto de la mesa. La nieve se asienta Sobre la hierba en el exterior, los niños están jugando con los matasuegras, mientras tu anciana madre trata de mantener los ojos abiertos. Siempre te encantó la Navidad. Te sientas presidiendo la mesa donde solía sentarse tu padre. Ha sido una tarde tensa y todos te dan cuenta. Es la primera vez que Chris, tras negarte a darle tu pasaporte, ha sido un gran cambio para Sam antes de ir inseparables. La niña suele ser una bonita época del año. Solo se escucha el traqueteo de la cubertería mientras Chris te dice con la primera fila. ¿Estás disfrutando la Navidad, abuela? Hace un brindis, promesa de inspiración. Chris se toma su cuarto vaso de vino, tal vez con demasiado ímpetu. Lo ves, Sam, ni siquiera es capaz de mirarme al ojo después de lo que hizo. Tu hija pregunta claramente confusa. ¿Qué te refieres? ¿Qué ha pasado? Apáñatela, pregunta en voz baja. Sam trata de interceder, no empecemos ahora. Pero Chris fuerza la conversación. No, creo que debería saberlo. Mira, sucia, aquí, Ale. Gracias, Chris, es suficiente. Chris se aleja de ti y decide pagar sus frustraciones con un trozo de pollo asado barato. Tu hija sucia aprovecha la oportunidad para correlarte. ¿A qué me quieres mucho? Te ríes, esto suena. Esto me va a gustar, ¿verdad? Bromea. Susi pone los complacos. Ya sabes que mi amigo y yo estamos planeando un viaje este año, ¿no? Comienza a contarse inocentemente. Bueno, esperaba que me ayudaras económicamente. Chris suelta un bufido burlón interrumpiéndola. Yo no tendría gran esperanza. Susi, la generosidad no es el punto fuerte de Ale, ¿verdad? Ignorando a Chris, sonríes a tu hija. Voy a intentar llevar la Navidad lo más tranquila posible. Si ya llega un punto que es mucho, ahí ya la voy a gritar a Chris. Veremos un montón de lugares del mundo y aprenderemos otra cultura. Suspira y baja la voz. Ya sabes que ahora mismo no tenemos dinero y que la abuela te está quedando con nosotros. No podemos permitirnos los Susi. Porfa, los padres Harry lo van a ayudar. Lo siento, ojalá pudiéramos pagar, pero no podemos. ¿Qué? Me lo prometiste, te grita tu hija. Su vista pasa la cara de unos progenitores al otro y abre la boca en intención de hablar. Sin embargo, solo le sale un grito de frustración y entierra la cara en sus manos. Y el premio de la familia del año va para... Chris inicia un irónico redoble tambor sobre la mesa. Mira a Sam en busca de apoyo, pero te ignora. Tranquila, Susi, continúa. Ale no tiene tiempo para su familia, ¿verdad? No eres capaz de decir nada. Patético. Sam roda a Susi con un brazo y le saca de la habitación. ¡Sam! ¿Te das cuenta que tu hermano es el que está haciendo el tema? Sam va también sin ni siquiera mirarte. Usted incómodo anuncia que se va a su cuarto y comienza a lavar los platos de eso. ¿Has disfrutado de tu cumpleaños, Patrick? Te dice tu madre alegremente. Putas navidades. Es que es lo normal. Si no tenéis plata, no pagarle a la weá, no te vayas a endeudar con tu cabra chica. Tampoco es que vaya acá a la casa del amigo como el otro, pues. Ojear la pila. Y la otra, la Sam, es una saco wea. Es una weona. Ojear la pila de correo acumulado. Cada nueva factura es como un golpe en el estómago. Hasta que un sobre azul la capta. Entonces reconocer el logo de Advance en el lo abre. Estimada familia Winston, gracias por enviarnos vuestro pasaporte por su dirección. Confiamos en la decisión y elección para el nuevo plan de redención de bien y riqueza. Con suerte, esto hará que el último mes de educación con Sam haya merecido la pena. Por este motivo nos complace entregarnos este cheque que esperamos que consideréis un símbolo no solo de nuestra gratitud, sino de nuestro compromiso de firme para crear una sociedad libre de igualdad. El latido que notas de la herida que te has hecho el cortarte con el papel es lo único que indica que no estás soñando. Un cheque muy gordo. Chris tenía razón, vamos a estar retribuyendo la riqueza de verdad. Seguiremos luchando por cuidar nuestra nación de sus ciudadanos. Adelante juntos, Julia, Saliva y Peter. El paso de tu carga financiera se aligera en una bendición. ¿Cuánto llevamos? 1:20. Largo fin de semana. Ya, vamos a terminar esto. La parte como de historia personal y luego nos vamos a otra cosa. Un largo fin de semana. ¿Por qué se bloquea siempre que una cremallera de esta maleta? Es tu aniversario. Cada año Sam y tú salís todo el fin de semana casi siempre de camping. No tenéis dinero para mucho más, estáis deseando que llegara este fin de semana para pasar tiempo juntos y solo, sin el ajetreo de la rutina, sin hijos, sin trabajo, solo un poco de romance en un lugar acertado y con calma. La cremallera por fin cede y arrastra la pesada maleta escalera bajo la luz del contestador parpadea la mesa del pasillo. Buenas tardes, Alex, soy el Dr. Busman. Te llamo para informarte de que este fin de semana vas a tener que ir a trabajar. Joder. Corazón se te hunde. Hemos recibido información sobre las crecientes tensiones entre nuestra nación y las potencias extranjeras y el equipo informativo La ciudad nocturna va a trabajar a todo el fin de semana para asegurarnos de que somos los primeros en dar la noticia. No hace falta que te diga que espero verte aquí mañana por la mañana a las 8 en punto. Que pase buena tarde. La conmoción se convierte en fue rápidamente furia. Tu pareja baja la escalera radiante de emoción tras de darte un beso. Sabes, coge la llave de la coche y empieza a cargar la meta de verdad. Una vez que necesitas este fin de semana y culparte profundamente con tu pareja, pero deberías ir a trabajar. El mal humor de vos. No podéis faltar al trabajo, es plata. No podéis faltar al trabajo, es plata. Y después si me voy, me mandan a la mierda. Si no voy, perdón. Yo, siendo la pareja, siendo Sam, yo no me enojo con él, me enojo con los hueones, porque sé que pegas. Perdona. Vas a ir, ¿verdad? La voz detrás de ti se sorprende y te gira accidente. Ya, como no. Sería pedir mucho que por una vez dieras prioridad a tu familia, Dios no lo quiera. No sé ni para qué me molesto. Ah, de verdad no lo sé. Fin de semana se mueve en silencio. Entiendo que haya que priorizar a la familia, pero... Digo, Charlie, mira por encima de tu hombro mientras lee. ¿Te cuesta alcanzar tu objetivo? ¿Eres un miembro activo de tu equipo? ¿Te gusta repartir los beneficios de la corporación? Únete ya a los emprendedores de van adelante juntos. No parece que sea el club joven del que te hablo. Charlie te quita el papel y te pone un formulario en la mano para que puedas ir caminando hasta allí después del cole y la hermana de Ben no te traiga a casa. Así no tendrás que hacer nada. Fíjate al para que tu hijo sea una emprendedora de van. Te llega a firmarte... Bueno, si quiere hacerlo... Diego está emocionado. Es reconfortante verlo tan ilusionado con convertirse en un empate de actividad de la comunidad. Seguro que esto es positivo. Déjame dudarlo. Pero el cabrón chico está contento, así que... Recagarla con uno. No se hace rentable. Tras un día especialmente duro en el trabajo, vuelves a casa y encuentras el correo organizado en montones, tal y como se ha acostumbrado a hacer últimamente. La mayoría no es más que la basura de siempre, pero te llama la atención una carta con el logo y reconocible de Advance en la que hay escrito con letra roja ardiente. Responde inmediatamente. Estimados familia por la presente queremos informarle que el gobierno de Advance ha dado un nuevo paso a la lucha hacia la igualdad. Hemos nacionalizado a las principales empresas privadas y redistribuidoras sus recursos entre los ciudadanos de este gran país. El programa de alguna asociación asegura que la riqueza de crear pueblo se entrega al pueblo. No recuerdo haberlo visto el propio panfleto. Cada familia se convertirá en socio de una de estas tres instituciones seleccionadas cuidadosamente por Advance por su alto desempeño y seguridad financiera. Por favor, tenga en cuenta que toda su rentabilidad depende de la opinión pública y que no podemos garantizarla. Por favor, se ceda una a la siguiente. Odio, ojo observador. Vamos, vemos la belleza de todos nuestros clientes, ya sea mediante cosmético o costura. Oferta Nail. Los chollos de Nail son logros. Placer Cop. Dedicamos a te feliz, ya sea forma de viaje o sea tiempo para ti. Supongo que viaje y cosas. Gracias por finalizar su elección. Por favor, envíe este formulario utilizando el sobre proporcionado. Recibe un informe de sus asociaciones en 3 y 6 meses. Parece que ni siquiera Advance puede acabar con el Senegal, que es la democracia gubernamental. El futuro de esta nación está en las asociaciones. Adelante juntos, Julia. ¿Cuánta influencia se puede tener? Sale del coche en silencio. Sam cierra el portazo y hace un gesto de dolor con la esperanza de que no haya roto nada. No dices nada. Ahora no es el momento. Mientras te acercas a mostrar, empiezas a encontrar mal físicamente. La gente de la policía os pide que esperéis. Al final, tras lo que parece una eternidad, vuestra hija sale escoltada por un agente de cara amable. Es buena chica, pero la hemos vuelto a pillar pintando un grafiti, así que tendremos que multarla. Así que te disculpas con nombre de Susie. Mientras Sam abraza a tu hija, que sigue en shock. Mientras le das la mano a la gente, te dice algo en voz baja. Aléjala de ese chico y todo irá bien. Una vez en el coche intenta sacar el tema, pero Susie se niega a decir una palabra. ¡Cabra huevona! Tras varios intentos deja de preguntarle quién era el chico del que hablaba la policía y te limita a conducir. Ahora más tarde estás mirando el techo con preocupación. El silencio sepulcral de la habitación, que es la única señal de que, como tú, Sam tampoco puede dormir. ¿Quién será el chico con el que sale? ¿Por qué te comportas así? Ninguno de los dos va a dormir esta noche. La tempestad. Supongo que acá siempre la vaya a estar cagando. Fenómeno principal. Sí. Supongo que siempre uno la va a cagar, sea como que sea. Tu causa y efecto. Hacer el caso que te dice cierto por la telemata. Puede hacer ya que. Ok, creo que sea lo que sea que hagas, de alguna manera caga algo, ¿vale? Ahora, lo que hay que intentar hacer es que cague menos. Que la cosa que caga y se va a la mierda sea lo menor posible. Está entretenido el juego, Julio. Está súper entretenido. Leon, buen coso, buena propuesta.